Let's welcome in Diane Dehoney and Steve Vest. Hey guys,
welcome. Hey there. How you doing?
Welcome to the show. You guys got It took a lot of restraint to not notice that happening while we were talking. You guys are doing that the whole time.
Lisa Lutner and what was Todd's name? I can't remember. Southern Carolina. Sorry.
You guys you got a big event on Saturday.
We do, absolutely. This is the 16th gathering of authors at the Paul Sawyier Public Library, right downtown. That is our annual event where we celebrate the rich literary tradition that we have here in the Bluegrass State.
Mm-hmm.
So
awesome.
It is kind of, for those who haven't been there before, it's kind of like a mini book fair type situation where we invite authors from all over the state to come in and sell and sign their books for readers, to meet readers. As the public library, we're all about getting authors and readers in the same space and bringing them together for great conversation, ask questions, but also to purchase some books, get their books signed, and just have a really great day.
Well, I mean, I think that the signing and meeting is awesome, but I think like talking to them about the topics of their book, I mean, that's just an opportunity you don't get all the time, right? It's like actually get to the
where'd
source.
That come from?
Right. Well, what made you decide
how'd you
to
find
do
that out?
Right.
You know?
What were you thinking?
This year we have 29 authors who will be joining us, and 3 publishing houses, or 3 publishers, one of those being our very own Capital City Museum.
Nice.
They put out some great books, as well as Frankfort's own Broadstone Books and Accents Publishing out of Lexington. I think they put up the list of authors there. There's too many to mention. I don't want to leave anybody out, but if you're familiar with any of these folks, or if you're not, you may notice that a lot of different genres are represented. So pretty much anything that you're interested in, that's going to be represented at the gathering. So if you're a mystery reader, we've got that. If you like inspirational fiction, we have that. Memoirs, biographies. We've got a couple children's authors. Just a little bit of everything. And it's for all ages, and it's free to the public.
Hey,
well, that's the important thing.
It is.
It's open to the public.
So, Steve Vest, what are you doing here?
Well, I came in because I wanted to talk about Radio Day. No, the thing is, I've told Diana several times that people have come up to me. They saw I was going to be at the gathering of authors, and they said, "Oh, that's quite an honor. Congratulations."
Yeah.
And they think that it's a bunch of authors sitting down at the library talking to each other.
Oh, okay.
And that they're not
like
invited.
it's a think tank.
It's some kind of
authors.
A cabal. Or something. And we're all sitting down talking about the secret sauce or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And they like, really, I can come? And anybody can come. They can show up. They can yell at us. They can talk to us. They can.
Speaking of secret sauce, so what is it that you have in you that it's like, oh, I'm going to write a book?
Oh, insanity or something like that. I don't know.
Nothing better to do.
Nothing better to do. I mean, the book that I have now that came out, it's been going on a year almost. It's a book that I've been working on for 30 years.
Yeah.
Little bits at a time, and it finally came together.
Well, that's was what I was getting to is my question as far as like, what is your process? I mean, again,
well, it depends.
30 years in the making, or is there just something that's like, oh, I'm going to write about that, and it's boom, boom, boom.
It really depends on the book, and I mean, it depends on the author. I mean, I know some of these authors, Jenny for one, she's written 35 books.
Yep, Virginia Smith. And she keeps cranking them out.
Oh yeah, I mean it's quick. It's a quick process, and she's a great writer.
Absolutely.
Where I write small things that eventually join with other things to become something larger.
Okay.
But I sitting down and trying to write a book beginning to end, I could never do that.
Right.
Where some of these authors do. I mean, Steve Demery, I think, is one of the authors too. I think he has 750 books. Or something like Bill Knoll, I know, has 27 or 28, and they've come out in the last 27 or 28 years.
Wow.
So
See,
in one series.
I've always thought that it's something like if you write a book, that's really putting it out there.
Oh, it is.
Because it's all on these pages, and then people can either like it or hate it.
Yeah.
Well,
there's no changing, right? You can't edit it out once it's out.
Well, yeah, and my last book, I think about half of it's wrong. But at the time I wrote it, I didn't know that. I thought it was all actual fact and was right. But I found out since that it may all be wrong. Who knows? But I was talking with with somebody at the state fair the other day, and they said that they'd gone to the hospital and they had one of my books, and they'd read it like 5 or 6 times while they're in the hospital because they didn't have anything else to read. And I said, well, yeah, it's understandable you do that if you had nothing else to read. But I said,
I need something to put me to sleep.
Yeah, and I'm like, you probably know me better than I do. I only wrote the book. I haven't read it that many times. So.
But yes, so Steve will be there signing on Saturday. Again, it's Saturday, August 23rd. It's from 10 to 2 down at the library. We'll be back in the River Room.
Beautiful room.
In our large room back there. And it's set up kind of like a book fair. And you come in, just drop in anytime during that period of time from 10 to 2.
There's not like a program.
There's not at all. Whenever you're able to stop in. And one thing that we found that people really enjoy, we'll have aspiring writers who come into this event who want to ask questions of the authors.
Yeah, so
about the process, right?
Right. Yeah, about their process, about publishing, just about any number of things. We have quite a few folks who are locals or in the region who are coming in, but then we have folks who are coming in from Eastern Kentucky and Western Kentucky and all over. So there's really quite the variety that we have coming on Saturday.
Nice.
If you're interested in learning more about the authors that will be there, if you go on the Paul Sawyer Public Library website, www.pspl.org, there's a banner that rotates across the top, and there's one for the Gathering of Authors. If you click on that, it'll take you to a page that's dedicated to the event, and it has all the authors listed and the book cover of the book that they'll be featuring on Saturday. And you can click on that, read their author bios, as well as information about their feature book. Of course, they'll have some of their backlist there, too, so they'll have some options for you. But we ask them to send info on the book, their most recent book.
Well, and that way people can have a little knowledge when they're walking in to know, like, oh, I want to ask about this.
Yeah. We have lots of folks who are regulars to this event who say that they've already been planning their purchase list. They know what they're doing coming in. So you can do that, or you can just come in kind of fresh and see who's there and who you'd like to meet. Again, like Steve said, it's free. It's free and open to the public. You just drop in. No registration, no fees. If you want to buy a book, we'd love for you to. I know the authors would be really excited. Would you be excited, Steve, if somebody bought a book?
Thrilled, yeah.
I always like to say that a signed book is a really great gift. We're kind of getting into the time of the year that some folks may be thinking about holiday shopping. So it might be a good time to start thinking about that and get some signed books for some folks.
Well, and some people like Bill Knoll, who has 27, 28 books, you can't get some of his books unless you go to an event where he's in person, because they'll have all of them there.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Steve, since we've got you here, we might as well ask some questions of the author. So
sure.
We talked about publishing and the process. When did you first publish a book? How long ago was that?
The first book I had came out in 92.
Okay.
1992.
So 33 years ago.
Yeah.
How much has changed in the process of publishing and the sort of industry of the book?
In 1992, that book, it was one of the first books I think that I knew of that was put together totally online. We created it on the computer.
Oh, wow.
Which was a new thing that was on the desk. We didn't have one a few years prior to that. And, but now, everything's done on the computer. But back then, it was like the olden days.
Yeah.
Before that, you had to turn in your pages.
Yeah,
Right.
right. Well, I mean, when Kentucky Monthly first started, we would create the entire magazine and put them on these new age things called zip drives, which were like this big things. And you put them in a box, and then you did print out all the pages.
Okay.
And we drove them to Lebanon Junction, Kentucky.
Yeah.
And then they would create what was called blue lines and send them back to us. And then we would come back and we'd mark up the blue lines and then send them back to the printing house.
Yeah.
Well, all that's done on the computer now, but back then, that was kind of high tech.
Right.
That, all of the stuff we did is on this big box thing. And it probably weighed 5-6 pounds. Now the thing, I'll go on a thumb drive. And, or just.
In the cloud.
Yeah, in the cloud.
Yeah.
What about the process of, self-publishing or, needing somebody? I would assume back in the 90s, you kind of needed a partner to get it on the paper.
You had to have in the olden days, way back when, a person would come up with an idea for a book and they would contract with a printer. And that printer would print their book, and then they'd go out and sell their book. I mean, that's the way Dickens
like a
and
demo
Twain
tape.
and all of them did it.
Right.
Then eventually you had publishers who would then be kind of the middleman, and they'd contract with their book, and then they'd go out and they'd get their cut. And,
Right.
But now we've kind of come full circle.
Yeah.
My book is through a publisher. Most of the authors here are through publishers, but anybody can write a book, and anybody can get that book produced nowadays.
Yeah.
You can go on Amazon.
I was going to say, I think you can do it on Amazon.
Oh, yeah, you can. And on Amazon, you can create the book. They'll help you lay it out. They'll help you design it. They'll help you print it.
And sell
or
it.
they'll put it online.
Yeah.
Right.
And it can be an online book. And none of that stuff existed 15 years ago.
Right.
So, yeah.
One little nod I will give. We have a really great writers community here in Frankfort. We have a group called the Bluegrass Writers Coalition. I believe
I'm a member.
You're a member. So several of these authors are members of that group. And it's I think Chris Helvey was one of the
Chris
founders.
Helvey in Virginia, Richard Taylor. And the great thing about that particular group is, everybody can find a writers club or a book club or whatever. But the Bluegrass Writers Coalition, you're in a club with Richard Taylor.
Yeah.
He's a poet laureate, and you're somebody who hasn't written anything before.
Yeah.
And you can go and sit down with him, and he's more than willing to tell you, this is good, this is not, this needs help, this is great.
Yeah.
And you don't find that.
Right.
Anywhere else. And we have found with the Bluegrass Writers Coalition, we have more members outside of the bluegrass now than we do in. So, there's a lot of local people, a lot of local talent, but we have people driving in from Ashland to this Bluegrass Writers Coalition at the Paul Sawyier Library. Or they're coming to the meetings on Zoom or whatever. We didn't have that all that long ago, pre-COVID.
So what determines, if you're an author, if that's like your hobby, your side gig, or your career?
If you can make a living.
Yeah.
And they say now with self-publishing, there's a book published every day.
Yeah.
And in America, I think the average book in its lifetime might sell 100 copies.
Yeah.
Well, if you can't sell 100 copies of your book, it's a good hobby.
Yeah.
If you can sell enough, that it's worth your time, then it's a little bit more.
Yeah.
But the amount of authors today that are truly making a living as an author, it's small.
Right.
There's the Stephen Kings and the J.K. Rowlings and those people.
James Patterson.
Yes. But he's a company. He's a factory.
Yeah.
And there are several of those they're not, it's not like the olden days where, Charles Dickens is writing books and selling books and he's the writer and he's selling them.
Yeah.
James Patterson has a staff of people that are helping him write those books.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of them like that.
Yeah.
I don't know how Stephen King writes so much, but
Yeah.
he even writes under other he writes so much he has to put them out in pen name form. So, yeah.
Well,
the mind.
Yeah. So Saturday from 10 to 2 in the River Room.
Yes.
Free and open to the public. Don't need to register or get a ticket. Just
Not
show
at all.
up
Just
at any
show
time.
up. We'd love for everybody to come down and see us. It's a really fun day. Great atmosphere, just casual. Come and chat with us. Pick up some books. We'd really love to see you.
The only big difference between it and the book fair is that it's not as crowded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you want to walk up and talk to somebody for 10 minutes,
Yeah.
you can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the coolest part, I think. And
Yeah.
so, again, PSPL.org is where you go to kind of see a list, maybe scout out who you want to talk to, who's written stuff about things you're interested in.
And if you have any questions between now and Saturday, feel free to stop by the library, give us a call, send us a message on our Facebook page. We'd love to answer any questions you have, and we hope we'll see you on Saturday.
And
Awesome.
all the writers are Kentuckians or connected to Kentucky?
Yes, all Kentucky writers. And we're super proud of all the talent that we have right here in Kentucky, and we really want to showcase that because they play a really big part in what we're able to do for our community, and we want to give them that platform to meet some readers and sell some books that day. So
That's awesome.
Good deal.
But what about Radio Day?
Yes, absolutely. I wasn't going to let you leave without that.
I love to answer the question.
Yeah.
So.
I wanted to jump in before.
Yeah, right. So do you want to talk about radio before you want to talk about how you do your commute, or you want to?
Oh, well, yeah, just the thing I'm looking forward to my next long commute because I saw this thing on Facebook that somebody has gone in and they have taken the bits and pieces of Dr. Johnny Fever from WKRP and Venus Flytrap, and they've captured all of their dialogue from the TV show, and then you can hear the lead in or the song that they're playing, and they've taken and put the full versions of all those songs, and they've created a 3-hour long Dr. Johnny Fever show and a 3-hour long Venus Flytrap show. So I can't wait to go and listen to that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I love that show. Back in the day, that's what I really wanted to be. I was torn between going into radio or going into print journalism, and I, for some reason, decided that print journalism sounded more stable.
I think you make the argument on both sides. Would you have been like a rock DJ?
That's what I wanted to be. Dr. Johnny Fever.
Okay. Not like a hard news. You wouldn't have been like what's his name watching the frozen turkeys.
Oh no.
Les Nessman.
Les Nessman with the Buckeye News Report.
Yeah.
No, I would not be Les Nessman.
All right.
And Chichi Rodriguez or whatever his name was. Hopefully I could pronounce it better.
What about you, Diane?
Yeah.
For like commute, what am I listening to? So my commute is very short. So it's usually just some radio. I like the classic rock stations out of Lexington.
Okay.
But also I'd listen to some Passport.
Passport Radio.
And shout out to my friend Nancy Plum.
There you go.
And but if
what about like road trip? If you're driving to Cincinnati or Louisville or something.
I'm probably doing audiobook.
Okay.
So gotta give a little
Libby app
a little nod to Libby. You beat me to it. Our streaming and downloadable service for ebooks and audiobooks through the library, completely free if you have a card with us. So definitely take advantage of that whenever I can. When I'm driving a little bit farther.
Yep.
Yeah, we did that too. We just took a long trip out west, and we listened to lots of books. And I use Libby and what's it? Hoopla.
Hoopla. Yeah, Libby, Hoopla. Yeah.
But my favorite on long trips when we're listening to books, I like books that are autobiographies and they're read by the author, because it feels like the author's just talking to you about my life. Here it is, and it's so cool.
That is a neat way to. It's like leaning into the technology of like, what can we do with this? And like, they got the person who wrote it read it.
Yeah.
So,
the book I read or listened to on tape most recently was James.
Actually, I'm listening to that right now. Actually, that's strange you said that.
Well, the thing is it's more of a partner to the book Huckleberry Finn, but the story is told from Jim's perspective instead of Huck's perspective.
Yeah.
And so you find out in the book Huckleberry Finn, there's several places where Huck and Jim get separated. So you get to find out what Jim was up to. But it's all told in this dialogue.
Yeah.
And Jim has when Jim, the enslaved Jim, is around certain people, he has one way he speaks, and when he's not, he has a whole totally different way to speak. And the voice actor captures that so
it's
well,
really great.
because he goes from one voice to another voice, and it's just great to listen to.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Great story too.
Yeah.
Excellent book. Won lots
No
of
spoiler
awards.
alerts.
Yeah.
I won't
No spoilers.
Right. Yeah, you were doing that earlier. Talking about
Sorry. Little House on the Prairie.
spoilers.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for coming and for all you all do. It should be, I hope, a great day on
Thank
Saturday.
you.
I hope
Looking forward
everybody
to
gets
it.
down there.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Anytime.